Hello, friends. So it's time for our weekly oracle reading, and this week I chose to pull from the Spirit Animal Oracle, and this week I pulled Turtle Spirit. So on the bottom it says, "Slow and steady wins the race." So when this card is pulled, it's here to remind us that when we do things, when we have trust in the universe, trust in ourselves, we put one foot in front of the other, and we're just kind of open to that possibility, not rushing through it, that then our abundance and our love will actually grow exponentially. That's really all that we need. So we don't need to rush or to force things. And if you think of that from an energetic perspective, think about like times when you do feel rush or where you do feel like you're trying to force things. Think about how your energy feels. That creates stress in our body. It kinks off the flow. We're not able to really even be creative because we feel that pressure on top of us. And so that will impact our ability to create what we want to create. If we have timelines that we feel like we have to have this done by a certain time, and I'm not talking about like, yes, there's times where we have deadlines and it's our responsibility to meet those. I'm talking about big things that are going on in our life. Like if there's some kind of a personal development, spiritual development type thing, or some kind of a goal that maybe it's kind of your own goal or something that you're striving to achieve. And we don't have to have that attachment to when this should happen, and instead just go with the flow. Sometimes it's necessary for us to move more slowly because we might need time to align to what we really want. We might need to stop and to contemplate, because sometimes the most important step is just to do that. There might be, maybe you set out to achieve something or to do something, and once we set our mind to it, we just keep going and going, and we don't stop. Well, then we get to the end and we realize that isn't exactly what we wanted. And if we would stop along the way, and maybe there was a different path, or maybe there was a different way that would have felt more right. And so we think about any kind of a journey, where there's a million different ways to get somewhere, but if you put it in the map and that's the way you're going to go, you might have missed out on something pretty incredible. Whereas if you would just keep it open and trust the timing and trust the adventure of it all. And so it's really about staying present. As we want to just kind of slow down life a little bit so that we can stop and enjoy it, because we're not enjoying life if we're constantly forcing and we're constantly going. And that's not why we were sent here. It's not always just about achievement. Sometimes it's like the yin and yang, the masculine, feminine energy. Sometimes it's just as important to just stop and to slow down and to feel it and to process. And so that whole be still. We are human beings. We're not human doings. And in our culture, in our society, we sometimes forget that because it seems to be very achievement-based, very competitive, and hard work ethics, that drive is really honored. You get awards for it, that sort of thing, whereas no one's getting an award for who is the most present during the day or something like that. So I understand where that then gets programmed into us, that we must constantly be doing something. We must be moving forward. And really sometimes the best way we can move forward is actually to slow down, to give ourselves that time to process, to just be. And so that's what Turtle Spirit is really showing up to have us and asking us to do, to really understand that, it seems like this is coming up a lot in the oracles. There's similar messages of just playing and just enjoying, trusting the path, enjoying everything that we have around us, because we're not seeing that when we're constantly going and we feel like we're running out of time. Then there's a different energy to that. And so just be. It's like we don't have to control everything. Trust the process. Even that whole idea when we hear be still and know. Because sometimes when we are working so hard to achieve something, we forget to stop and check in. And when we can be still, we can connect with that inner guidance that we all have, that we often neglect to pay attention to. Or you can pray if you're into that, or ask for guidance, however that works in your life. But in that stillness, a lot of times the answers come up. We are able to feel it. We sense it. We know it in the stillness. So this is what this card is about. It's this invitation or this understanding that this is just as powerful as, the hare trying to win the race. Like this, the slowing down, be present, enjoy life, play with everything. Don't take it too seriously. Just slow down and enjoy this beautiful ride.